So the project for today on the old Chrysler Conquest slash Mitsubishi Starion, replacing all the brake lines. So that's all 8 brake lines at all 4 wheels. And I'm also changing out the brake master cylinder and putting all fresh new fluid. And I'm going to be bleeding the brakes and replacing all that cruddy ancient brake fluid that probably hasn't been changed and God knows when. But anyways, just wanted to show some stuff I've been kind of getting ready here to do. So first off, look at the amount of dirt that I removed from this brake fitting here. So this Conquest is an 88 and it has 260,000 miles on it. And I'm very certain that these are the original brake lines. Look at that. I mean, the amount of dirt that was in here, this has to be the original lines. There's no way. So definitely due for replacing these lines and making the car safe again. So basically when you want to get all that gunk out of there before you try to pop those lines off. I mean, you're replacing the hose, but you know, you don't want to get any dirt inside the line, so it's best to clean that up and make it all nice, and it's easier to get the wrench on there and get those fittings off. Since brake parts cleaner is so expensive, a little trick I've learned to use is isopropyl alcohol. I use 91%, but I believe the 70% would still work fine. What I did is I bought this bottle and then I just refill it at CVS or Walgreens or whatever. I just buy the refills and fill this back up. So, you know, I just sprayed the alcohol on the fitting and then took a pick and just scratched off all the dirt and gunk here with this pick, basically. Right here, just kind of got in there and just got all the dirt out and then sprayed it down. So just because brake parts cleaner is so expensive, that's why I try to use this to clean my tools for odd projects. Because I mean, a bottle of brake parts cleaner is like $7-8. It's crazy now how expensive it is, insane. So way cheaper to use the isopropyl alcohol when you can. So I've got my parts ready to go here. These are all Dorman lines. Rock Auto lists several different manufacturers, but Dorman's a good product. I'm familiar with them and I've used them before, so I mean, they're all probably pretty much the same, but I like that it's a name brand. So I use Rock Auto a lot to track down part numbers and just verify it's the right part number. Then I went on Amazon and bought 7 of them through Amazon, but they were out of stock on one of them, so I went to eBay and got it. So I'll leave a link to the parts in the description of the video, so if you want to go check that out, you can do that. So I got all my brake lines here, and then I'm also going to be changing out the brake master cylinder, and I got that from MKS Motorsports. So I try to support local vendors, enthusiasts like MKS when I can. So I'll be changing out the master cylinder too, because well, this is probably the original master cylinder and kind of hard to see in this light, but it's probably just been seeping for years, and the brake booster is probably just full of fluid that's been, you know, leaking from the master into the booster for years. So yeah, just definitely a good idea to replace this old part. So I'll be doing the master cylinder as well, and then I'll also be taking out the reservoir here and cleaning that up real good. I've got some brake parts cleaner, probably gonna take that completely out and spray it out and clean it up really good. It's just probably full of, not probably, definitely full of just years of black brake fluid that never got changed. So I'm going to clean that out real good and make sure all these lines are cleaned out nicely. And yeah, and then I just, for the brake fluid, I just have this brush stone I got on Amazon. Walmart sells it about the same price, but this is a good brand. Dot 3 is good. Don't need to do Dot 4 for this car. If you look in the factory service manual, they recommend Dot 3, so it's good enough. Yeah, it's good enough. Dot 3 is good. So, all right, well, we'll get to work, and I'll start changing out all these lines and make the braking system on the car safe again. So we'll go from there. So I got the other side brake hoses installed, the driver's front, and I ran into a little bit of a snag. And really this is to be expected with an older car like this and trying to use aftermarket parts for it. But basically what happened is, here's the new brake hose, and it's gonna be hard to see. I mean, you're not gonna be able to see this on the video, but basically the new brake hose, these Dorman brake hoses are just ever so slightly larger than the originals. I mean, we're talking a 64th of an inch, just barely, maybe a 128th of an inch, I don't know. So because they're slightly larger, this ringed portion, they don't fit through these factory tabs on the car. So what I had to do was take a file here and file out the circumference of the hole to enlarge it slightly. I mean, it was pretty annoying. So I have to do that for this side too. This tab here, fortunately this one you can remove from the car and then just kind of file it down and then put it back. It's just a 10mm bolt holding on. But this one's spot welded or tack welded to the car, so you can't. So I had to disconnect the main hard line and try to use a rag to try to push it out of the way and to not damage the flare on it while I was trying to file the hole in the tab here. So it's not a huge deal. It's just time consuming. It sucks that it doesn't fit right the first time. So, but again, to be expected on an older car like this with aftermarket parts. So there were some slight differences on these Dorman hoses too. I don't think it's going to be an issue, but for example, you look at this and the Dorman line is a little bit longer than the original line. I don't think it's going to be an issue. It just leaves more exposed thread. Same thing went on basically with both lines. Same thing with the longer line. They call these, I mean, it's not much, but it's there. And, where the thread stops and the flare starts, it's a little bit different too. So, I mean, we're going to find out when we get this all back together and we bleed the brakes if that's going to be an issue or not. So hopefully everything seals up properly and we have no leaks. Fingers crossed. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. And also, too, I decided can't really trust, previous work on this car. So I purchased some slide pin grease. I'm going to re-grease these pins. Just in case. The pads look new, but you don't know if people have greased these. So I'm gonna take this 17mm bolt out. That's the slide pin, and re-grease it and put it back. So, all right. So let's keep working on the car. So moving on to the rears here. Kind of ran into the same issue as the fronts, where the hose did not fit through the mounting tab here. You can see if I try to put that through, I can't get it through. It's very close, but it won't go through there. So I'll have to file that down, and also on this other tab here. Try to get the light there. I can't get it in there. So it just takes a light filing just to clean up a little bit of the metal and paint there. It's not too bad. So I found also that taking this 10mm bolt off here makes it a lot easier for getting this line out of the way so you can file, and just want to be careful and not damage the flare on this, so just helps get it out of the way a little bit. Interestingly, this hole actually works. That's how it should go in. It's like the only one in the whole car that actually it went through, so that was good. And then also something to note, this line, probably won't pick that up on the camera, but on both sides of the fitting, let me see, maybe I can zoom into this. Let's see. I don't know if you can see that up on the walls there. There's some gunk. So with these, I took an air compressor and I just kind of blew it out to get that gunk out there. So just some rust on where the flare meets the brake line. So make sure these are cleaned out good. There's no gunk in there. And then when reassembling this line, sorry, the light here is not good, but when reassembling the line, jeez, trying to figure out how I'm gonna do this here. This line back onto the tabs here. Okay, this goes between the two brake lines. It's easier to not put the clips in, not install these on both sides. Get the lines attached to the fitting just snugged up by finger tight, and then put these clips in, and then do your final tightening on the hard line to the rubber line. So you're not fighting tension when you try to put this hard line in there. So just do the clips, second step. So that helps out a lot. So, all right, well, we'll get this side installed, rear, and then we will move on to doing the brake master.